Why does a low battery? What? Low battery cannot start capture. Okay. It looks like the battery's run out on this thing, which means that I cannot do a thing with another person here, which we're going to take as being a sign from the universe that this third social fact, it's kind of interesting. There's something, this hasn't happened so far, the recordings I've done. It's happening now. Okay. So, third, here we are. You've decided to share this. Okay. In the case of people who have not shared this, okay, somehow you found this video, the third video, and you haven't even been through the first two, I advise you to go and check the other two. For those people that have watched the first one and understand the first social fact, fantastic, decided, yes, this is interesting enough regarding the maths, the puzzle, the methods, psychology, interesting enough, let's do the second one. Then the sharing. How does this get to your hands? Is it mechanical? That's the one little bit I forgot to mention. Quite often what happens is through algorithms, it's through some impersonal recommendation. We're interested specifically in the kind of engagement that I had with people. Okay, personal engagement, one-to-one. This is kind of okay, but actually it's the sharing from person to person, which is the second social fact. It's a genuine network of connections from me, who recorded this, all the way through various people to you. Okay, and that means that everybody that's watching this, everybody that's watched this, okay, has gone through a trust relationship of some kind, if we've shared it through organic means. This is organic sharing, the second social fact, sharing personally. Not algorithms, and not mechanical, and not buying and selling and all that kind of stuff. Pure organic sharing. Okay, so that's what I'm assuming. Okay, so if you're watching this, I'm assuming. I'm going to kind of leave the other people that got here in another way, mechanically and so on and so forth, kind of like to be confused. Okay, but everybody else that's here, it's because you decided in the first step and you've decided to share. Okay, now you may not have actually got the result of that sharing. You've kind of sent it off and you can revoke. Okay, because this bit that we're about to do is a bit kind of like wacky. And in fact, I don't even know how to verbalize this. I don't even know if there is a way to verbalize this. I don't even know if I don't think the document that I actually have actually goes into the third one. I think I gave up. Yeah, it doesn't have a third part. Okay, because so we're here and we're assuming the person before us has done this, shared it with us, and you yourself have done the same. If you yourself have done the same, there's something about this. There's something about this logic, which means that everybody that's watching this, okay, is in this part here and decided to share it. Now, what does that mean? The third social fact is to do with our collective. It is not an individual thing that one does, you by yourself, like a principle, hermeneutic moment, accepting, I'm living, going through this time. And because it's been shared, it means that everybody that's ever watched this and ever will watch this is at this moment. Get that to your head. That's a tricky one. I find that tricky. Everybody that ever has watched this and everybody who will watch this is at this moment with us now. Now, that's kind of challenging. Okay. That's the third social fact. Because it's not just everybody that's done this so far. And it's not an imaginative, it's It's an imaginative hermeneutic. But if you an extended hermeneutic, imaginative hermeneutic is everybody who ever will watch this. That's a social body. Okay, that is social power. That is a social entity. That is a social ontology. That's what the third social fact is. And it operates, it behaves, it does something. Now, nominally, with our current economy and everything else, it's like, oh, this guy's quite clever. Oh, this guy's kind of interesting. Oh, this guy's got an interest. Oh, I'll pass that on. Okay, oh, I'll learn how they do that, and I'll share that. Okay, that's kind of this one. But this third social fact is, I can't verbalize it in terms of this. I think I may fail. Okay, so do your best here. Okay, if you can work this out, good. The first social fact: everybody who's ever watched this and ever will is right here, right now. Why? Because the thing was interesting. Because of that? No. Because the method, the maths. Because of these cubes. Because of It's because you decided to share it. There's somebody that you knew, that you thought, that might be interested in this. You have faith. Okay? You had faith that they'd be interested. You put your money into thinking they'd be interested. The fact that they are here with us now, all of us, in this weird little space, the person who gave this to you, the person you will give this to, that you will give this to, all of us, think about that. I can't, because I'm not in the middle like you. I'm like at the beginning of this thing. So all I've got are people up in the head, so, oh, well, 2 people maybe, it is challenging. But if you and the person who gave this to you, and the person that you will give this to, is right here, right now, because of the faith that somebody has had in you, and because of your faith that you have in another person, that is a transitive relationship between us. That's the third social fact. This you do in your mind. This we do between us. This is intersubjective. Okay, somebody shared this with you. You share it with somebody else. That's the act. That's the second social fact that it is shared. We're not assuming. We're going to just simplify things organically through Sqale. And there's money flow. Interestingly enough, there's money flow which we should be able to use for what purpose? Right. Let's see that. Let's say you have shared that, which means that there are credits. That bit actually has credits. However, the credits have just gone from person to person. What we're saying is that there's a whole movement of credits. Why? What is the purpose of this? Yes, this is interesting. But it's not about, let's buy some more of these puzzles. It's not about, yes it is, buy some more of those puzzles, because they're great. Okay, what can I say? Is it about the method to solve those puzzles? Is it more about the sharing? Yes. The metacognition? Yes. The metacognition of our social cohesion, that we've managed to get into this third social fact as a matter of faith, or as a function that the person that gave it to you made the decision, so you're going to make that decision too. And you can think of somebody that you can pass on that trust and that faith to another person, as the person who gave that to you, who chose to share this with you. And this happens to be about this, but this could be about anything. This could be about an article, this could be a film, this could be anything whatsoever. It just so happens that this one, because I'm talking about reflexive reading, it's this one, and the 3 social facts in a social science, and it's kind of connecting up this sharing with the second social dimension with Sqale and economics, and it enables this. It's I think on Sqale it's called the usership. It's the I don't like the viewership, watchership, I don't know, ship, I don't know, some kind of ship, okay, wherein this is a whole body, okay, and you know, you've got various religious organizations that try to describe the Sangha in Buddhism, or the, I don't know, the congregation, I guess, in Christianity. I'm not sure what the Muslim term for it is. Okay, us. Why? That's the question I think we have to ask. And it's not good enough just to say, well, okay, could you give us some money, all right, so that we can buy some more of these puzzles, you know, do more mathematical circuses, maybe share this method, get other people to use that method. Yeah, okay, possibly. I think it would be more useful if we actually got those credits for a better reason. Okay, and I think those credits might be directed towards one of you, or more of you, that want to pursue something that builds on learning, helping kids, metacognition, improving this, doing a better video of this, doing this as an animation, you know, because it might only be like, you know, 40 people. And if 40 people get what I'm yapping on about because I take forever, you might be able to, actually that won't generate enough money, but some of you might actually could produce an animation or produce a better video, all that kind of stuff. What can we do? It does depend on the size of that, because if it's only 2 of us, then it's like a little canoe. we're in this canoe. But if there's like 40, 50 of us, oh, that's like a big boat, that's like a ship. If there's 1 million of us, or, you know, 500 million people watch this video. I mean, can you imagine that? 500 million through organic sharing and having faith that their friend will enjoy the video, okay, that will like it for some kind of reason. We won't have 500 million doing that. I mean, that's just not going to happen. But, you know, 1 million people, I literally can't imagine that. But if that is to happen, that's not through me. Okay, I'm a nobody. I mean, you know, I have very little faith in my abilities. You know, I'm really in a bad state. I do little videos between these going, wow, this is really tough doing these kinds of things because, you know, my social conditioning around me is not ideal. So if any of this is happening, it's definitely because of you. That's without a doubt, you know, the person who shared this with you, and you're moving it forwards. So I think that the next step is definitely, we have to make use of when we get to this state, okay, when there's a few of us, okay. Now, one way that I've actually used another form of mathematics, XQ, and it's a really naff form of maths, but it's kind of nice, it's 1 to the n, okay. It's something that I've invented, I've come up with, and it's meaningless in terms of arithmetic. Because 1 to the n means, 1 to the 2 means just 1 times 1, which is 1. 1 to the 3 means 1 times 1 times 1, which is just 1. And so arithmetically, that can actually just be reduced down to 1 to the 1, which is just 1. Okay? However, you've got things like z, which is the usually representation of 2-dimensional numbers, imaginary numbers. I don't want to go into the detail of it, but effectively you could do the root of that, and you get roots of unity. The roots of unity. So if z to the n is equal to 1, it means you could do the roots of unity. Okay, 1 n, z is equal to 1 to the whatever n. It's like, what? Okay, so it is possible, but that's with 2-dimensional numbers and imaginary numbers. So, however, kind of forget about that. Just go for the 1 to the n, okay? Because we don't know how many people are watching this. But the point is, it's definitely a we, okay? It's definitely a we. It's a different quality. The people that are doing this through first social fact, second organic social, reflexive watching, reflexive reading, whatever you want to call it, second social fact, sharing with money flow, before, you know, not even before. Yeah, just decide to do that. I'm purposely exaggerating in order to see the potential third social fact. What is the point of all this? And the credits of 1 to the n, and however many people we've got. So instead of saying we could just say 1 to the n of us. Okay. one, it's just me. Okay, nobody's ever going to share this. I'm not even going to share this. No, I won't share this. So now this is the only time I'm going to think about this. This is the reason why I'm doing this. Is because I don't really think about these things very much because they're a bit tricky. And it'd be a lot easier to think about this once this happens. Okay, so once there's, let's say, 1 to the million, okay, then we say, wow, that's our responsibility for where this ship is going. And, there's that's £1 million. If this is shared with £1, that's £1 million, okay? And what's the point of that? And what happens if it's not just for this kind of video? What happens if it goes for articles, videos, and anything else that anybody shares? You produce some articles, music, videos, you want to share something, and you share it through Sqale, okay, and so people are experiencing something, and then they decide to share it. Now, is it just to make money? Is it to ego? Is it to, focus on the self? Is it just pleasure? Is it And because of the condition of these two social facts, in order to enter into, specifically in this video, the third social fact, and point out the third social fact, I think that all of the attempts in Sqale, okay, is to enter into this space of 1 to the n, of we-ness. And I think, I'm going to say it, because I can't do any more resolution than that until actually we get evidence that this actually works. Once we get evidence that this works, I think people will find it a little bit easier to do this jump, which I'm about to do. Now, I'm just doing it verbally. I can't quite do it mentally. I can do it mentally, but I certainly can't do it existentially. I can't actually believe this. The natural extension of this, as far as I can tell, 1 to the n, is 1 to the 8 billion. Obviously not watching this video, but everybody, the objective is to get 1 to the 8 billion. 1 to the 8 billion. All of us. If we're interested in the subject of social science, if we are doing things for the benefit of other people, if it's based on relationality, if we act on it and put our money into sharing things that we think are actually valuable, it is inevitable that we're aiming for global unity. Massive jump. I can't do it. I mean, I'm saying it. Think about just variable. Just think about it as a variable. It doesn't matter what the content is. It doesn't matter what it is that we're sharing with whom. Okay? There is relationality. Because of the money flow going towards the person that you're sharing it with, the faith and trust that you have in them, it has the kind of innocence, or it has the kind of experience that I described right at the beginning. Okay? That I saw something, and the failure state, in their most vulnerable state, and look at the state of the world now. The environmental degradation. People deny it. People who are watching this, I suspect, don't deny it. Okay? A lot of people don't have the courage to even look at the level of environmental disorder, and might just completely avoid it, knowing it. Or will deny it by saying, there are other things that are going on. Or they haven't enough faith in our ability to come up with scientific explanations. So I just read an article, the Chinese are expanding their seeding, cloud seeding, up to 10% of the land of China. They are actually seeding with silver iodide, I think it is. And they seed the clouds so that the clouds can move to the right places, and then there's rainfall. Okay? And, silver, iodide, I think it is, which is kind of like toxic, all right, cumulatively. So it's a bit like the DDT thing that happened in America, like that, but with water across, a billion people, more than 1 billion people. Wow. I mean, okay, that's the technological solutions that we seem to be coming up with. It's scary, okay? So people are saying, oh yes, there's a problem, but oh, we've enough competence that we're going to solve it. Okay, or even AI. Once we develop the AI will be able to help us work out the problems. Okay, right, maybe. Okay, I'm not convinced. Okay, I'd rather be safer rather than sorry. I like risks, but this kind of risk and the environmental degradation and our history record, I don't think we're doing very well. So we need to have some other kinds of levels of solution where our ability and our desire to help each other, as demonstrated by me with some people and demonstrated by you and many people that you know, about being kind to other people and helping other people and so on and so forth, and sharing and having an economic that actually enables that to go forwards. Okay. To approach people, somebody has given this to you without seeing this bit. Will you share after this? I don't know. To share this method to somebody in their vulnerable state, to share this method, I'm in the vulnerable state, believe me. But us in this global situation, I think we're in a vulnerable state. Environmental destruction, political, economic instability, especially after the coronavirus. We're all quite vulnerable, and the economic conditions are heavy. And I suspect that the pressure on our environmental solutions, I think, is going to be unbearable. I think it will come down to the bottom line, which will be the generation and continuation of companies and governments, not the costs involved in trying to make the environment, sustainable. Okay, I think so. I think we're in a failure state. I think we're in a failure state, and I'd like to think because of our good actions, our intentions, and with an alternative economic, and our actions basically, and our decisions to share with people, because other people have shared with us, and passing that positivity on, forwards giving system, a give it forward system, with money flow, I think we might have the means by which one today billion. Not as easy as a few written pieces coming together. However, I'm suggesting sharing with money going forward, Sqale, I think, is, I don't know, it might help. That's all I'm saying. And I say anything more than that? Not really. But if you've done it, it means you'll see the results of that. Did your friend actually pass it on? No. Okay, there we go, we know. But if they did, why? Because they faced the same thing that you did, and you decided to, and they didn't. Why? Do you kind of like nudge them? So did you watch? Oh, I didn't even watch it. Oh, right. Could you watch it? Because it's kind of interesting, right? They get to this point, they decide, and then they decide to share it. Oh, okay. Or they say, right, no, I've been through it. I saw that, couldn't bother with the next bit. Okay. Saw that. I couldn't think of anybody. I got bored. I don't know. Something else happened. The phone rang. Something else happened. Or no, I didn't like the idea. Oh, okay. Whose responsibility is that? If we want to have global unity, whose responsible is it? Whose responsibility is it for that to happen? You shared it. I don't know. Something about global unity is so difficult for us to even conceive of. And I've thought about it. I've done stuff about it. I devoted my 30s to it. But after 10 years of devoting myself to world peace, by the opportunity for world peace for year 2020, I was like, by 2010, I thought by 2020 we might have a chance. We might have a chance of creating it. By 2010, because of the internet. So back in 2000, I was like, wow, this internet's amazing. And the stuff that I was doing with kids, like this, but in classrooms, it was like amazing energy, amazing solutions. Kids were amazing. I was like, wow, this is, if we get what's happening in my classes, and other people are doing similar things in other classes, and we have the internet, wow, remember at the beginning of the internet, people were like, wow, the whole thing was expanding, people were learning, sharing libraries and open source, and it was amazing, you know, because Berners-Lee gave it out to everybody, it was free, and it was just like this amazing opportunity in space, and it was across different nations, it was like wild. And then, you know, over periods, oh, okay, possibilities, oh, now it's reducing, global politics, blah, blah, internet, broken down, small pieces, political, economics getting in there, commercialization, you know, most of the internet is like adverts, it's like, oh my God. By 2010, and I hadn't seen the social cohesion that I'd seen in my classes, I tried to kind of explain to other people, failed, and tried to get other people to look at it, came up with, I think the first thing I came up with was, came with ABC state in classes, action cycles for businesses, some good results, but not enough. And I was like, right, 2010 I gave up. I was like, that's it. There's absolutely no way we have a chance to do this. I can't see it. Okay. And in order to remain sane, I had to go, sorry, I can't hold that possibility any further. Okay, fine. So I let go of it, and it was fine. But then other things happened, and I ended up, you know, picking up, not the global peace thing, world peace, but attempting to do something about it, and I came up with the economic, all right? And over the last year and a half, the PhD, an attempt to, you know, and then reflexive reading within academia, because in social sciences, and that's why I'm sharing this with you. It's to do with social sciences, moving things forwards as much as we can. We really need the institutions to change, and we need to have more courage amongst ourselves to be able to affect that change. And we have to be able to share this in a more appropriate manner. Now 2020 is December, and you know, we've had the coronavirus, we're in a vulnerable state, I think things are going to get worse, and however, one acts as best we can, okay? So I'm going to have faith that you and everybody, you are going to share something with me that you think is going to be helpful and useful for our betterment. And ultimately, I think we're all in this together, okay? And we just need to equip ourselves with the appropriate tools for that to happen. A social science that actually is in this area of the third social fact would be cool. Okay, imagine people working out ways to do, you know, global unity. Instead of world peace, call it global unity. You know, how? Okay, so, you know, a bunch of kids in a room, yes, that's possible with the ABC state. All of us globally, when? Okay, I'm not going to go to it now because we could do another post on that. I've started to think about it again, world peace and how to get here. Okay, but I don't know. I don't think I'm qualified to do that. But trying to do it with numbers and, you know, what's the realistic in terms of numbers, it's difficult to do, and I don't quite have that enthusiasm anymore. Okay, I think that's about it. That's it. The third social fact is to do with us. Everybody who's ever seen this, everybody ever will. And then considering everybody watching and reading and looking at everything else that's shared through Sqale. So I hope Sqale works. You can make Sqale work by sharing this. But I don't know, share something that's better. You know, famous phrase, share something which is better. A well-known person, a celebrity. Okay. I can't do anything more than this. I cannot think, apart from actually then talking about global unity. I can't. The third social fact is us. Whatever social body, one to the n, is, what is the purpose of that one to the n? It should be what it is that you're sharing. When you're sharing, creating anything and sharing it through Sqale, why? Okay, what is the benefit of this? To whose benefit? And if it's us, then actually ideally, all of us, fantastic. I can't get any more definition than that, but it's something to do with the mathematics of the money and the number of people in this, not the intersubjective, our entire collective, whatever the size of that collective is. And the mathematics of that, and the purpose, the cumulative purpose, like remember, at this moment now, everybody that's ever watched this, and whoever will is watching this at this moment now. Okay, so if you're like the third person, it's like, well, third, it's not many. If you're the millionth third, you'd be like, wow, a lot of people watch this. Why? It's just rabbiting on endlessly. There will be something that's shared. I think that would be nice. If you can work out what can be shared that eventually everybody on this planet could watch. I mean, different languages, different cultures, everything else. Okay, maybe not everybody on the planet. Let's say a third of us, or 1 billion of us. Okay, that'd be kind of cool. What would that be? Okay, that everybody, including me, would watch, or read, or do. When would that happen? Is that like 2038, with a billion of us? Or would it have to be by 2030? Or by next year? AI is developing really fast, so the sooner we can share anything, that we have a usership of 1 billion people, I hope it's better than something that's, it's just political. Okay, I hope it's something that really is uplifting, enriching. This doesn't obviously work, but this is more for social activists, agents, social scientists, open-minded people, educationalists, psychologists, sociologists maybe, I don't know, mathematicians maybe. But to actually reach 1 billion, wow, wouldn't that be amazing? 1 billion of us watching at the same time, and what's our call to action? I've written that here actually, I don't know if you can see that, where the call to action, previous video. Because if we've got a different structure like this, the call to action is not just like, please do something. It's like, if we have 1 billion of us, this is what can happen. Yeah, ultimately I'm going to say there's 8 billion of us. The call to action is global unity. 1 million of us, 1,000 of us, 1,000 of us, £1,000. You pay somebody £1,000 to do something. You can produce a video. I don't know. There's lots of things to be done. Good grief. That's enough. Right, sorry guys, it's quite late. It's half an hour, way too long, and I don't know how useful that was. But you see, it's kind of tricky to enumerate that, understand it, appreciate it, our collective action. Collective body. So even if you're alone, like me, I don't know, 1 or 2 people I'm sharing this with, that's it. So even when we're in a powerless state, vulnerable, we can consider possibilities that are way beyond our ability to even conceive of. I think it's realistic. And it's only through our actions does that possibility start to be realized. Amazing. Amazing possibilities. And you have helped make it happen. That's pretty cool. You trusted somebody, you shared it with them, and you made this happen. Not me, as you can tell. Best thing was this bit. Maybe this bit. This bit is almost completely vacuous. But you're making it happen. We don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. We don't know how successful it's going to be. We don't even quite know what its purpose is. Well, I think global unity. You've made it happen. You're making that happen. We are making it happen. Kind of uplifting, I guess. I would like to really believe it, though. If we manage to hit 1 million people watching this, wow. I mean, wow. Wow. But we can only get excited when that happens. Up to that point, we're just like, okay. Missing something, aren't I? Hopefully you'll work out what it is. You can supply, get back to me, write it in the comments, do something, go, right, I think you're missing this. It's like, I think we should do this. Do it. Just do it. All right, point me towards it, share something with me, and I'll check it out. Okay, that's a good idea. Share something with me, I'll check it out, and then we'll see, you know, share it with your friends, and then, you know, it's an open field, an open area, and the future's ahead of us, and I think, I hope I'm going to be there for you. Okay, so, but anyway, thank you very much for risking following what I'm saying into the unknown, into this third social fact together, and it is quite an unusual space. Come back to the second social fact. Thank you very much for sharing and for being here. And the first social fact, thanks for being here, you know, acknowledging my existence, your existence, our relationship, and everybody that's shared this with you, and everybody else that's shared, and everybody that's presently right now. Let's all be together in this and be like, wow. Yeah, it's kind of cool. I think the next thing I'm going to do is about zero social distance. Yeah, let's try that. Okay then. Be well.